Hello, welcome to Breaking It All Down. I'm Count Zero. E3 2012 has come and gone, and with my usual timeliness, I'm getting this video out several weeks after it's ended, but we'll leave that aside. It's time for me to talk about the best games of E3, by which I mean the games of which I was sold on. There are other games from E3 that were probably good. There are games which I will probably end up playing and enjoying immensely, but from what I saw at E3, I wasn't quite sold on it. I didn't quite buy it, or alternatively, well, I didn't see it because I wasn't there. I didn't have a chance to wander around and see everything, and there's only so much time to sit down in front of the computer and watch videos when I have other stuff to work on, books to read, reviews to write, people to see, so forth and so on. You know how it is. So, this is my top 5, as time actually ranked, sold games of E3. My sold list. Now, anyway, yeah. Gameplay footage here from these videos is going to be from sites like Game Trailers and Giant Bomb and that sort of thing. I will be citing them in the credits and have links to the relevant trailers so you can watch them on your own in the show notes. So, let's get started. Number 5. Persona 4, The Arena. Now, I've been a fan of the Persona series since Persona 3, and since then I've basically went and picked up every single Persona game that's been available in the US thus far. From Persona 3 Fez, to Persona 4, to the PSP releases of Persona 1 and Persona 2 Innocent Sin. And the only ones I haven't picked up, basically, have been the PSP remake of Persona 3, and I've been big considering doing that just to get the female protagonist so I get a different perspective on the story. So that got me interested in this somewhat. And then there's the fact that, well, I also enjoy the Guilty Gear games. So when I heard that Atlas and Arc System Works were coming together as one Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of fighting game narrative awesome, then my interest was piqued and I was hooked. I've seen the game in action now, and it seems all of my interest and everything that got me excited was justified, and I look forward to seeing more and picking up this game in the future, either for purchase or giving it a rental from GameFly. Number 4. Sleeping Dogs. Now, this is a game which I'd kind of seen in screenshots before this, under the title of True Crime Hong Kong, but I never had a chance to see it in motion. So, seeing gameplay footage and trailers of this at E3 really got me pumped about this game. I'm a fan of the Yakuza series because they do a really good job of bringing the brawler of your Streets of Rage and all the other generation of 16-bit games and bring it into the 21st century with 3D graphics, with a good solid fighting engine that isn't button mashy, and with a certain degree of difference of environments in terms of having your of getting the environment involved, though not as well as I'd like. However, Sleeping Dogs really what it has going for it is it really actually uses the environment even better than Yakuza did, and definitely better than any of the fighting games like Streets of Rage and all them before them did. So it looks like it'll add a sense of dynamicism to the fights and give things a sense of grittiness without getting all over the top and grimdark and that sort of thing. The story itself looks like it's taking some cues from the recent works of director Johnny To, as well as some of the later parts of the career of Ringo Lam, which is a good thing. If you know Hong Kong film, you know who those guys are. Ringo Lam directed the movie City on Fire, which helped inspire Quentin Tarantino's film Reservoir Dogs, and Johnny To, most of his stuff is on Netflix Instant. Go watch it after you're done watching this video. He's someone to look out for, and his influences definitely appear to be all over this game in good ways. I'm have high hopes for what this game will become. I look forward to purchasing it or getting it from GameFly and giving it a preview later on. Number 3, Rock Band Blitz. Well, I own just about every Rock Band game. I'm only missing 3. I'm missing the Beatles Rock Band due to an oversight because I love the Beatles, and I need to pick that game up at some point. I don't own Green Bay Rock Band because I'm not a big fan of Green Bay and punk or pop punk or anything like that. And I don't own Rock Band Unplugged for the PSP. The reason I don't own that one is because when I saw the game, the thought I had in my mind was, do you know what would make this game better? Would make me really want to play this game? What it would do, I need to be able to play this on my console with my Rock Band music library, plus a whole bunch of new additional songs, and the ability to take the songs from the Rock Band music store, when I purchase them, be able to play them in this game as well. That would encourage me to buy more Rock Band music. That would encourage me to sit and play Rock Band and Rock Band stuff more often. And this is a game where I get the Rock Band gameplay, but something that works when I'm solo, when I don't have friends over, when I'm not at Rock Band night at Ground Control in Portland, that sort of thing. And it'd be great if we got that, but we probably won't get that. Well, it turns out we are, and it's awesome. It looks great. I can't wait to get this. If I could pre-order this on Xbox Live, I would. Actually, not Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, because that's where all my Rock Band songs are. So, I'm looking forward to getting this big time. Number 2, Watch Dogs. If you remember my review of Deus Ex Human Revolution, which if you don't, go back and watch it, you know I like cyberpunk. It's one of my favorite genres of science fiction, for our subgenres. Space opera and stuff like Star Trek, where it's kind of getting into the realm of space fantasy, but with a fun morality play element. Those come up ahead, but cyberpunk's in my top 3. And I've always been looking for a fun cyberpunk or cyberpunk-ish game which really takes advantage of an open world ever since I played, frankly, Grand Theft Auto 3 back in the day. I like cyberpunk. I like the idea of a game with an open world where you have to evade the police and do all sorts of jobs and that sort of thing. And basically, this game is almost but not quite what I've been looking for. What I've really been waiting for is the upcoming game, the upcoming Shadowrun Returns game, which I've donated to the Kickstarter for, but this isn't that. But this is pretty good. I like the ideas in this game. I'm interested to see how it gets its cyberpunk-ish elements of the story involved. I mean, it is cyberpunk, but it's not all the way mirror shades and black trench coats. It's a more grounded, more close to the present cyberpunk, which is something that when people think cyberpunk, they forget. They remember Neuromancer. They remember Count Zero Interrupt by William Gibson. They remember Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. What they forget is Iduru, they forget Virtual Light, and some of those wave of William Gibson's work. And this really seems to tie into that in ways which hook my interest and catch my attention. I want to see how this turns out. I want to see this game's story completely in its evolve and how it flows. I'm interested in seeing how this world works and how the element of hacking the sort of main computer that runs this city and how that works with the gameplay. I want to see this game do well, and I want to play it and get my hands on more of this. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about this, and I am pumped about this game. Number 1, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, The Mirror of Fate. Congratulations, Konami. You've just sold me on the Nintendo 3DS, where Nintendo themselves have failed. No sarcasm there. You've sold me on the 3DS. I'm in. I basically, for every previous Nintendo handheld system, I've kind of held off on buying one until a Castlevania game comes out. And generally, if it's been good, they generally have been good. Well, this one looks good. This one basically takes the story of Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which I enjoyed immensely, and maybe not all of the gameplay because it's a 2D side-scrolling game, but some of it. And it's taking that mythos and mixing it in with the classic Castlevania mythos and basically tying in the characters of Simon and Trevor Belmont and Alucard and showing where they fit in this new Castlevania universe, bringing everything together in time for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. And it's awesome. It looks great. And even better, they're doing this in a way which basically takes the gameplay style of Castlevania 3, where you have your different characters with their different special abilities, and depending on which characters determines what areas you can go to and unlock. Sort of a more linear Metroidvania. And they're incorporating that in something which I don't think has been done since Castlevania Rondo of Blood with Sylvia Belnad, so however you pronounce her last name. And this is awesome. I even like the fact that with the minimap in the touchscreen, you can annotate the map to remind yourself where to investigate later. Honestly, that's something which more Metroidvania games could do, and should do, because oftentimes when I've played them, I found myself wondering, okay, on the map, what do I need to get to certain areas? Do I need a long breathing power? Do I need a cling to swing on the whip power? Do I need a double jump? What am I missing? And then when I get those powers, it's been so long since I went to those areas that I forget, but I need it. And this has that. So this has that annotation, which is exactly what I want, and I'm really, really excited to see how this works out and play it firsthand. So you did it, Konami. Congratulations. You're getting on the upswing. Good for you. Oh, that's the stuff I'm sold on. That's the stuff I want to get, or I'm going to be pre-ordering soon-ish when the pre-ordering option becomes available. Next week, though, I'm going to take a walk on the dark side. I'm going to talk about the 5 games which are my unsold list. The games which I consider to be maybe not the worst, but the games I was interested in or might have been interested in playing, but made me go, nope, I'm out. And that's next week. Look forward to it. And I'll also be handing out my award for Shame of the Show. Until next time, I'm Count Zero. Thanks for watching. Here it is. Exciting. Thrilling. Electrifying. Galvanizing. Galvanic. Spine-tingling. Hair-raising. Far out. Rip-roaring. Rip-snorting. Stimulating. Stirring. Bracing. Rousing. Inspiring. Invigorating. Excitant. Excitative. Excitatory. Moving. Impelling. Compelling, affecting, soul-stirring, heart-stirring, heart-moving, overpowering, overwhelming, overcoming, startling, astonishing, mind-boggling, mind-blowing, trippy, and the Meet the Pyro video.